What is up, everyone? Back bringing you another video with Jetty Boy at Jetty Boy on Twitch with an objectively incorrect tier list for Unleashed Legends. Now we're going to be running through each one, both the legend and with their signature spell. Where do we think they fit? Very little testing on our end, so there's really going to be nothing, just guesses and vibes. Jet, how you feeling?
Guesses and vibes, here to stir shit up. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, starting with Poppy, Keeper of the Hammer, orange and yellow. I think objectively, orange and yellow is not the greatest color combination. You also have Set in this color combination too. Poppy says when you hold, gain 1 XP, and you can spend 3 XP and tap her to draw a card. Where are you feeling about Poppy? Be honest.
So I think the XP mechanic is extremely weak based on mogging Scuffy on his own stream. However, he did do it in XPE, and Scuffy's a known net decker, not necessarily a deck builder, but I think drawing 1 is still objectively powerful no matter who it is. So if there were to be an XP deck, it would be this one in my opinion. And I know we haven't discussed the signature spell, but I think the signature spell is quite strong.
Okay, I'm agreeing with you. I know people have been piloting some Aurora Poppy. I think Aurora is strong enough that if you're an orange deck and you can draw some cards, it's good enough. And I think the signature spell is bonkers, but I think having to pay 3 XP to draw 1 is super, super conditional. Takes a while to get there. Tapping, you can only do it once. I'm feeling like Poppy at B tier. You cool with that?
I would be fine with C, or like low B, like bottom B.
We'll say low B, and that's because the Aurora I think is going to be strong. For the record, Poppy's spell, Keeper's Verdict. It's 2 energy, 2 power, action, and it says choose an enemy unit at a battlefield. Its owner places it on the top or bottom of their main deck. So it's Rebuke, but better. Right. I think that's one of the great things about this is you essentially either take the card and remove it from the game, whereas Rebuke puts it back in their hand, or you force them to draw it next turn and they just burn a draw. So I will say the signature spell is strong. I'm okay with low B. Feeling good?
Yeah. Fine with that.
Cool. All right, next we have Jhin, the Virtuoso. When you play a spell, if you spend 4 energy or more, you may banish it. Then if there are 4 spells banished with me, put each in its trash, channel 4 runes, and draw 1. What are we thinking? How are we feeling?
I went against one person with a bad deck that I was playing. I was playing Volibear Dragons like set 2. And they did like a miracle variation, which was surprisingly stronger than I expected it to be, with like detonate killing gold off their like curtain call and stuff. But curtain call is objectively just worse wages of pain. I think you proc this legend maybe once per game and it doesn't move the needle enough. I think this is debatably a blank legend, so I would go D here, to be honest.
DC, I'll throw high D here because I mean it's definitely better than Garen, right? It's like Kaisa colors but worse. I will say the Jhin champion legend that or unit that you can pay for just a power is kind of like a Nocturne that's always there. I think there might be some interesting tempo Jhin plays that you can make. I will say I'm kind of bummed out by Curtain Call. It's 4 energy. It gives you 4 options, so you can draw 1, deal 2 to a unit at a battlefield, deal 3 to a unit at a base, or give a unit at a battlefield -4 might this turn. And it's got increasing costs for repeat. So the first repeat cost is an energy, the second is a power, and the third is a power and an energy. So total cost, if you do every single repeat, is 6 energy and 2 power. Like you said, Jet, it's not super great. The issue with this too is it can be defied even if you pay the 6 energy and 2 power because the repeat costs aren't factored in the cost of the spell. So his signature essentially gets bodied by any green deck. I'm okay with top of D. I would probably put him bottom of C, but cool with that.
I think the thing about the signature spell too though is that like the comparisons that I've heard is like Singularity costs 6 and 2 power, like, and that's just deal 6 damage to 2 units. This low-key just like is worse in a lot of ways. It's more modular, but it's also worse because again Defy exists, so it's like I don't know. And again, by the time you proc his legend, you're like what, down like 5 points probably, because you're not scoring because you're playing overpriced Wages of Pain. I just don't, as much as like Jhin is a fan favorite character from League, and I stopped playing before he came out. I think he's very disappointing in the way he turned out.
That's fair. I also think that 2 to unit at a battlefield for 4 is horrible. Like that is so bad. So yep, aligned, and hey, maybe D tier is where he belongs. But next we've got Rengar. And I guess we can start with the signature spell, right? Because that always helps. Thrill the Hunt. It is 2 energy and a power reaction. Banish a friendly unit. Then its owner plays it to any battlefield, ignoring its cost. I think this is probably one of the best signature spells we've seen in the entire set. So signature spell alone, S tier. Rengar as a whole, he says, when you play a unit, give a unit +1 this turn. What do you think about Rengar?
So Rengar is the only set 3 deck I've actually gotten much practice with at all, because I purely play based on vibes, and if I like the champion in league. I think his signature spell is also one of the best signature spells in the set, if not like any signature spell, because like they falling star, you boom, you blink it and play your unit to a battlefield. That's crazy to me. At reaction speed, the only downside is it's defiable, but it should be, or else it would be, I think, too strong. And it's already like pretty S tier IMO. My original issue with the Rengar was I thought his legend would be kind of blink, but you can actually pump the might relatively high with like hidden cards and things like that. And there's a few different shenanigans you can do. So I don't think his legend ability reads that great, but in practice it's not too bad. I personally think Rengar he feels like top of B, or like somewhere mid A for me.
Yeah, I'm okay putting him bottom of A or top of B. We'll put top of B for now. I think the signature spell is bonkers. I think red and orange are just like generally good. He does get shut out by Vex though, right? Like the fact that Vex says like stun enemy units played, and ambush is a big part of Rengar, I think will really hurt him. So it depends on how heavy the Vex meta is. But I'm good with top of B for now, and we can go from there, yeah? Next, we have Pyke, which is actually one of my best performing videos for whatever random reason, but I'm glad people liked it. Honestly, that might be it. It might be because you're the GOAT. But Pyke, the Blood Harbor Ripper, it's 1 energy and tap, return a friendly unit at a battlefield to its owner's hand, play a Gold Gear token exhausted. When I first saw this, I thought, this sucks. It ruins all of your tempo. You take a unit away, and a Gold Gear token's great, but you pay an energy to make that, and then you lose your unit. But I think there's a lot of potential when it comes to control style decks where you're not trying to have a huge board or anything at the battlefield. And his signature spell is okay. Death from Below, it is 4 energy, 1 power. It says kill a unit at a battlefield. Then, if it has 3 might or less, you may play this from your trash for a power. Jet, how you feeling?
I probably disagree with you on this legend. I think he's debatably as bad as Jhin, if not like somewhat worse. Well, he's better, I guess, because he has a legend ability that will do something more often. But I think it's also too conditional because it has to be at a battlefield. There's only one battlefield that benefits this unit. I think it's like Blood
Ripper's Bay or something.
Cove
yeah.
Or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that one's fine. I think that's okay. But I don't think the ups. It's like you don't even want to bounce a unit back to your hand a lot of the time. And I think Handlock Pyke is probably like. I think this is a deck that improves with time and with more support. But I also think the signature spell is bad. It's like C tier at best. And if anything, the card Bone Skewer in this set, it literally has like Pyke's flavor on it. It's got like a spear or whatever. That spell feels like signature, like should have been is a signature spell in my opinion. That card's power level is way higher than whatever his signature spell's name is. I like because like it's defiable, and then Vengeance also exists for 4 recycle 2 for a just straight up kill a unit, and obviously that's not in a color that Pyke has, but killing a unit at a battlefield is already one restriction. And then you only get the repeat if it was a unit that was 3 or less. So it's like, I just don't think it's strong enough.
Yeah, I think that's fair. The one counter I'll have is Pyke is purple, and purple is disgusting because all the cards are so good. So I can't put him in Jhin tier.
For this
What's up?
He does have access to things like Abandon and stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
so,
like
sure.
Abandon, the new stun that was released, the new bounce a unit, that's a better rebuke. There's just a lot of flexibility. I'm gonna put Pyke above both Rengar and Poppy for now.
Whoa.
You might think I'm delusional.
Whoa, you're
Yeah.
actually wait. What is okay? You need to justify this to me. I don't.
Purple.
I don't see that.
I think Pyke being purple is enough of a justification, and I think
Have a
we will
blade
see. I will put him above Poppy. That's going to be my take. You cool with that?
We're here for bad takes.
We're here
Chat.
for bad take. I think this is a W take. I'm gonna say W scuffy take. I'm not gonna lie.
Mark it down.
Okay, next one. This one I think will be easy is Vi, red and yellow, Piltover Enforcer. When you conquer, if you assign 3 or more excess damage, you may exhaust me to ready a unit. We don't even look at her signature gear because I think that's objectively bad as well. Vi is just straight to D tier garbage. I will say the signature gear though. Anyways, Hextech Gauntlets, 3 energy. Equipping it costs a power and 3 more energy. But the energy cost of equipping it is reduced by the might of the unit. So if your unit is 3 might or more, you only have to pay a power. But it is a 3 for 3 gear. That says when I conquer, if you assign 3 or more excess damage, draw 1. Essentially, this entire deck is built on you have to overkill like crazy, which 3 or more excess is kind of a challenge. Jet, bottom of D tier, are you happy with this or what?
Yeah, I have no disagreements. I disagree about the signature spell or signature gear. I think it's playable. I think it's bad, but it's playable. I think it's the only redeeming thing in her because it's still a draw engine for these colors. You still have like Hidden Blade and stuff, but I think it's funny that Riot likes to make their arcane cash cows like awful in Riftbound. I think that's like genuinely hilarious to me. That's all I have to say about Vi.
That's actually, I didn't even think about that. That Jinx is like laughably bad, and Vi is laughably
she was only
bad.
good because of banned cards, and like this legend is. I think she's worse than Jinx. Jinx has a better color combination.
Yeah, Vi is unfortunately horrible. I wish Vi was better, but
Her overnumbered art goes hard.
ooh, okay, S tier overnumbered, but D tier everything else. Next we
She's
have,
worse than Jinx.
yeah, I agree. Unfortunately, like Garen tier. Next we have Lillia, Bashful Bloom, which says blue and green, 4 energy and tap, play a ready 3 might sprite token with temporary, and the ability costs 1 energy less for each friendly unit with temporary. So the more sprites you have, the cheaper it is. I will say on the legend ability alone, Lillia seems pretty awesome. I mean, the fact no other unit has something that can score on your turn every single turn once you have 4 runes, except for Lillia. Right? Like you have a Victor that can make a token in your base. You have a Zir that can make a Sand Soldier token, neither of which have Accelerate. This is every time you make it, it has Accelerate. So that alone is just crazy good. And then her signature spell, I used to think was insane. People don't like it as much anymore. But Lilting Lullaby, it's 2 energy and 2 power, reaction, counter spell. So it's already better statted than Windwall. But then it also says its controller can't play spells this turn. So it's like a Bryn here, but for spells. I like it. I think it's got a lot of versatility. And I think Lillia's got a lot of versatility. Jet, how you feeling?
So here's my hot take of the video so far. I think Lilting Lullaby is debatably stronger than Bryn here because you can, while you can only lock out spells, it locks them out for much lower cost than what Bryn here is, and I find that to be much more flexible. So I, in certain situations, can see Lilting Lullaby being stronger than Bryn here. Because a lot of the time, in my experience, when you're playing Bryn here, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're using Bryn here to stop them from interacting with you.
Yeah.
And most interaction comes from spells. So for 2 and what is it, 2 power?
Yep.
I can't see the signature spells if you've been showing them. But the you just get access to essentially what Bryn here wants to do without the body earlier. So I would argue that in some scenarios that's better. I'm a lot lower on her legend abilities text. I think it's fine, but you're the one that has more playtime in Unleashed. I haven't played against or with this legend because, if you play this overnumbered, you know where you are. But I'm not a fan of the legend herself, so I'll never play her. The color combination's good though. She has playable text. I think high C, low B for me.
All right, so I will say delusional take. I'm gonna put her in A, and I'm gonna say the only thing stopping her from being insane in A is Vex, which completely shuts her down. So I'm gonna put low A, and it's because all of the other accelerate cards, you just have insane tempo. You can make a lot of sprites. You could smack things down. I'm gonna keep her in A, and you can come back. And if Lillia is awful in the new meta, you can tell me to sit, and we can put her back in C. But
I just got content creator mugged. He makes the decisions here.
Yeah.
To be fair, you've also seen more of the card.
Yep. So we'll see. We'll see. So you said C. You said C and D tier, right?
Okay, C's kind of bad. Okay, I would say mid B.
Okay, mid B. All right, we'll come back.
I think A is a little bit too strong, but I like low key think with hold being better. Like I kind of think Ahri might be like just better, but maybe that's another delusional take as well.
No, I mean that's kind of interesting, right? Like you're comparing this to Ahri. Ahri's signature spell is pretty bad now, so maybe I don't hate it. But okay, moving on, we've got Master Yi, the Wuju Master. So this is the first time we've had a duplicate legend, which I think is very, very interesting. So green and orange, same colors. Some people have been calling him XP Yi. He says at level 6, your units have +1 might, and at level 11, your units enter ready. The level mechanic here is just the cumulative XP that you have. So once you have 6 experience and haven't spent any, your units have +1. Once you have 11, your units enter ready. I made a video on this. I'll try to link it up above. I did horrible. I got destroyed by Lucian. I got destroyed by everything I played. Here's the issue.
You got destroyed by who playing Lucian?
Yeah, Jenny Boy. Yeah, look him up.
Hey.
But the problem with Master Yi XP is you need to hold and conquer and do that 4 to 5 times to get the benefit of your cards. And holding / conquering 4 to 5 times before you get strong in this meta or any meta is impossible trying to ramp up. It takes so long. And in this meta, people are going to be playing spells and destroying your Master Yi. And the second you lose your champion unit, you're screwed. And so my take is this Master Yi is horrible, but the signature spell that he got, Alpha Strike, which is 3 energy, 1 power. It's an action. Choose a friendly unit. It deals damage equal to its might among enemy units at a battlefield. Then for each it kills, gain 1 XP. Is going to be used in the other Master Yi, and I think the other Master Yi will be better. So I think XP Yi is C tier at best. Maybe more XP cards will help, but I think his signature spell is actually A tier, maybe even S tier, because it's a better challenge, essentially. It's a challenge that can be split. It's a challenge that doesn't kill your unit. It can't be punished. Can't be defied, but so can challenge. So I think he's C tier with a good signature spell. Jet, do you agree? What do you think?
I think the signature spell is wholeheartedly the only reason he's in C and not in D tier.
Yeah.
My issue with the XP mechanic, if you refer to the solo leveling E video that Scuffy posted, you can see a lot of issues with the breakpoints of the XP mechanic. I find it to be, again, like he said, too slow. The hunt units and hunt support, I see this mechanic getting better the more cards are printed, but currently I have a disagreement with how slow your level of breakpoints are and where the level of breakpoints are on a lot of the cards. There's a few cards that say level 3, do something. That is a much more reasonable breakpoint than anything you get before you hit level 6, because I've in my experience playing against this deck and seeing this deck played, hitting level 6 to just give your units +1, like that gets mogged by the other usability just out the gate. And you have to get to you have to grind to level 6 to get it, which might take you 3 turns or 4, like if you brick. Like I just don't see it in these colors for the hunt support. And I think hunt would be greatly improved as a mechanic if the breakpoints started at level 3 to start getting effects. It's just too slow. And and you're playing with a essentially blank legend compared to the other Yi. But again, signature spell I would agree is probably A tier. So
yeah.
Puts him in C.
So I think other Yi's gonna flourish, and I'm a little bit scared that Aurora Yi's gonna kind of become popular again. I hate Aurora, but that's fine. Next we got Vex.
Vilma is gonna be a menace.
Yeah, and Yi can run Vilma, but Vex Gloomist. It says when you or an ally hold, so they made this for multiplayer, thank God, because some aren't. You may exhaust me to draw 1. So a lot of people are like, hey, Renata was pretty bad because you have to hold to get a gold gear token. I will say drawing a card is a lot better than getting a gold gear token. So that alone is better than Renata. Also, purple and green are phenomenal colors. Vex also has an interesting thing. She has a signature unit instead of a signature spell, Shadow. It is 3 energy, 3 might. If you play Shadow to a battlefield, it enters ready. And it has action, 1 energy, 1 power, tap it to stun an enemy attacking unit there. So it's a way to essentially increase your hold. I'll say what makes Vex really strong, and we haven't talked about champion units a lot, but I have to bring it up here at Vex, is she has a perfectly statted 4 energy, 4 might unit that has deflect. And when you play, or your opponent plays a unit on their turn, it is stunned and cannot move that turn, which is insanely good at just locking it down if you can get Vex on a battlefield. I'm putting Vex at the top of A. I think she destroys Lillia, which is a really good deck. She destroys Rengar, which are the next 2 highest statted legends. And then Pyke is too slow, Poppy is too slow, Master Yi is too slow, Jhin is too slow, and Vi is unplayable. So I think by that alone, Vex kind of takes the cake. Jet, do you agree, disagree? What's your thoughts?
I think everyone memed on this legend when they got revealed before they saw the cards, and this was pre-ban list. Card draw is king in card games. In this color combination, again, I think the champion unit is pretty nuts. I think, honestly, the Spirit Forge, even if they didn't have a 4-for-4, like, really busted champion unit, you could still play the one, like, the current Vex that's out.
Yeah, the purple fine. Vex is good, too.
It, like, single-handedly put, like, Ezreal on the map, basically. So, she's got, I mean, it's a purple unit with green. I mean, purple and green is, like... I mean, that's insane. And she can set up hold super easily. I think you can play this deck. I think you can just throw good cards in this deck and it'll work. That's how I feel about this deck.
Yep. I agree. Cool. All right. Next, we got Ivern, the Green Father. Ivern says, when you conquer here, you may exhaust me, or when you hold, you may exhaust me to replace the battlefield with a bush battlefield. And then that just essentially says birds, cats, dogs, and poros have +1 might there. And it can be changed back when the opponent scores there. So this is the new mechanic in Unleash, which is a token battlefield. Baron creates a brand new battlefield. Ivern just replaces the battlefield. There's some interesting text too, where essentially Ivern can remove a battlefield from the game. I'm not going to go too much into that right now. I wonder if that's like maybe a rule thing that Riot didn't intend to happen, but you can technically put brush on brush, and then the battlefield below that, before the first brush doesn't exist anymore. So some weird...
Wait, you can stack brush?
Yeah, you can. I'm not sure how to do it. I think it's like if you hold, you can put brush on top of a brush, or maybe it's like when you're playing Ivern into Ivern. I haven't gone too deep into it. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
No, yeah. But so you're saying because that exists, you can permanently erase a battlefield because of that?
Yeah, and there's like some rules. Someone was posting it on Twitter that like that permanently deletes a battlefield based on how the rules are stated right now. So a weird nuance. I don't think that's going to pop up much. And if you do permanently delete battlefields, like, I mean, maybe that's like the meta.
I feel like that's a Rada.
Yeah, I mean, it might be coming.
That seems too nuts.
Yeah, and then Ivern also has a signature unit, so we'll talk about that real quick, which is Daisy. It's 9 energy, 2 power. It enters ready. It's 8 might, so it's a big unit, but it's power heavy, and you reduce its cost by 1 energy for each of the following tags across bird, cat, dog, and poro. And when I attack, while you have all 4 tags, stun an enemy unit here. So best case scenario, if you have like the Exodia setup, it's going to be 5 energy, 2 power, 8 might, enters ready, which is great, but it's not often that you have the Exodia set up and have a ton of energy up and are ready to play it. When testing this, I also made an Ivern deck. I'll hopefully put it up there. It felt too slow. So it was a token deck. I think it's got its pros and cons. I think it could be optimized more. I'm thinking high D tier, maybe slightly better than Master Yi, Jet C, D. What are you thinking?
I have a few thoughts.
Okay.
I think he's better than Yi for sure.
Okay.
Not by much, but definitely there's just more upside to like the legend. You can get a couple more things online. I think tribal decks are very fun. Like, and from a purely like flavor text / getting people into the game, I think his design is very good as far as being faithful to what the game like portrays him as. And I think people just really like Ivern, so this will be healthy for like player population.
Yeah.
So that alone, in my opinion, kind of puts him higher than most of these other legends. But as far as a viability standpoint, I haven't played with him. I know Scuffy said he's been playing with him and it was too slow. I would agree that his whole game plan is too slow. When I was going over some of the Unleashed cards on my stream, I had people in my chat trying to tell me Daisy's insane, like 5 for 2 power for an 8 might unit that can create brush and be 9 might and blah blah blah. It's crazy. I think that's because there's no way you're gonna have all the tokens up when you need them, because they're like 1 might tokens, right? Or like just the units are smaller, because it's more of a tokeny swarmy deck, and so I just think that maybe you get a nutty Daisy turn once, but so you get a 1 point swing, but you've already like lost the game by that point. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I think C's there. I will say it feels like Ivern might be able to, combat some of the hold strategies because you can throw your Ivern on the battlefield and then get extra points. And so if, Vex is full stacking a battlefield, you can throw your Ivern down. Yes, they can charm your Ivern over, but hey, you're also playing green, so you can defy it. There's some things you can do there. So
wait, what does the Ivern get you a point?
The Ivern champion unit, the 6 might one, says when you conquer or hold, if you have all the 4 tags, so bird, cat, oro, dog, you score an extra point. So it's like, you might also just run green Ari. Green Ari is like kind of better, but the difference is Ivern can get it on conquering too. So it's niche. But moving on, we have Diana, the Scorn of the Moon. It's blue and purple. Again, purple's great. She has reaction, tapper, and add 1 energy. You can spend this energy only during showdowns. There's nice because now there's non-combat showdowns, so you can almost always use this energy. Her signature spell is Moonfall. It is 3 energy, 1 power, so it can be defied, unfortunately. But its action, choose a battlefield where you have units. You may move up to 1 enemy unit to that battlefield, then give enemy units here -2 might this turn. So this is essentially like Watcher on demand, and it also is a charm. So it's a great way you can move into a battlefield that's full. You can pull in other units, give them all -2. Unlike Watcher, there's no floor on this, right? So they could go from 1 might to 0 instead of being stuck at 1. I think the signature spell is bonkers. I think purple is bonkers. I think this is a better Ezreal. Jet, what do you think?
Definitely think it's a better Ezreal. Maybe this is a scathing take, but I think the signature spell is overrated. I think it's good, but I don't think it's S tier or even A tier. I think it's like a B+ level spell. I think it's strong. Don't get me wrong. I think you probably play at least 2 copies of it in main board, but I think it's a little overrated personally. But this color combination's cracked. I believe her champion or her blue unit is really good.
Yep.
I don't think the purple unit's good, but I mean, yeah, I think this color combination it plays at a faster pace than Vex too. I think it's a little more aggro. So by virtue of that, I think the deck I'd put it like slightly above Vex, but I haven't play tested obviously. I just think this color combination is very strong.
Yeah, I think it's high A tier, low S tier. I think for virtue of like clickbait and keep it going, I'm gonna put Diana S tier, and I want to be proven wrong.
I'm perfectly okay with that. I would like to as well, because I think she's debatably S tier.
Let's do it. All right, we got 2 left. We got Khazix and LeBlanc. I think it's fitting to save LeBlanc for last. I think LeBlanc can be freaking insane, so we'll see. But we got Khazix, Void Reaver, orange and purple. He says, when you win a combat, gain 1 XP. Which I like that. There's some like XP gain built in. Poppies is when you hold. Khazix is when you win a combat. We know how Draven works. Combats happen a lot more than holding, so that alone is more of an XP driver. And Khazix also has 2 things he can do with XP, whereas Poppy only has 1. He can spend 1 XP and tap to buff a unit, so it's just Lee Sin, but you don't have to pay energy. Okay, that alone I kind of like. Or you can spend 2 XP, tap, and move an exhausted friendly unit from a battlefield to its base. So essentially it's saying like if you moved a unit in that turn, you can pull it back. I think it's interesting, the whole like move an exhausted friendly unit. I don't know why they have that nuance. Like, I guess you can't pull a ready unit back and attack with it, so it prevents you from getting too much value from it. But going to a signature spell, it is called Void Assault. It is 2 energy, 1 power. Move a friendly unit, then move an enemy unit. If they both move to a battlefield you don't control, you're the attacker. So essentially it's like a ride the wind for your own unit and also a charm for the enemy's unit. It has a lot of potential. I don't think it's as good as Rengar's signature spell, but I think it's a good way to, conquer when you want to and kill a unit when you want to. The issue is it's not action, it's not reaction. You can only do it on your turn. So it really limits your possibility. But I think Khazix is going to be pretty good. Jet, how are you feeling?
I'm conflicted because the signature spell is quite strong, but it's another XP thing, so it's probably something that'll scale with time. I don't actually like... Well, I do like that he has like a steady gain of XP if he's winning combats, but I don't think the tap abilities are strong. And I also don't think using XP as a resource when most of the cards in this set seem to be geared to just stacking XP. It seems like you're just like taking away from your win condition when you spend XP for like minor effects, and I don't think these effects have a huge amount of upside. So I'm a little conflicted with Khazix because his colors are better than Rengar. Obviously his counterpart in League is Rengar. I think he has a very strong champion unit in the purple one, but I think his legend is not good, like his text, and but his signature spell like balances out, as well as the fact that he's purple. So for that reason I think he's above Rengar, but not by much.
Okay, so I like that take, and I like how you said they kind of balance out. I think he's below Rengar potentially, and so I'd maybe put him below Poppy. Again, I think it's the XP isn't great, but I think he's better than the other ones. I'm going to put him below Poppy in B tier, and I think there's potential for A tier. I don't think it's cooked up yet, but like there's that 3-white purple card.
Is this in order?
What's up? Yeah, it's like leftmost is highest and rightmost is worst.
Yeah, you're angering me. But Khazix is not worse than Pyke. Khazix is not worse than Pyke.
Interesting. I mean, okay, you got to keep it provocative. It gets the people going. You know what I'm saying?
This is you're rage baiting me, so I think this is great. Yeah.
Hey, good. I'm glad I pissed you off, because lastly we're going with LeBlanc. I'm not even gonna talk about it too much before at least putting it down, which is S tier. It's blue and yellow. What LeBlanc says is when you conquer or hold, you may discard one and exhaust me to play a ready reflection unit token. There, it becomes a copy of another unit. Give it temporary. This is another token that's unique to Unleashed. It essentially copies a unit and its text, but it doesn't copy its play effect, right? So if you have something that says like, when you play me, like Mind Splitter, you can't play this on a Mind Splitter and make them discard a card, but if you play it on a Ferris Forerunner, it copies the Death Knell text. So one, I mean, if LeBlanc was red, that would be insane, because coppering Ferris would be game winning. What she does have as a signature spell, I think is good, but Gale Winds, when I played with him, he actually didn't like the signature spell that much, and he played 1 or 2 in main and sideboarded 1, which I think is interesting. But it's called Mirror Image. It's 3 energy, 2 power. Choose a unit. It could be any unit. Play a ready reflection unit token to your base. It becomes a copy. Give it temporary. What's nice about this is if your opponent ever has a huge unit, you can just copy it and then play it and swing it in either to an empty battlefield, or trade on the own battlefield, or swing it in and buff it and win on that battlefield. The incredible part here is there's a lot of great Death Knell cards. You've got things like Zillion. You've got things like Blue LeBlanc. You've got things like Yellow LeBlanc. You've got things like Karthus that all deal with Death Knell and keeping your temporary units alive and repeating your Death Knell and drawing cards. There's a lot of flexibility here. I think LeBlanc is going to be insanely good. And the last thing I'll say, because I've been on a tirade jet, is LeBlanc with Windswept Tillich is crazy, because you swing a unit in and the token she makes comes in ready. So you make a copy of a card and then you literally just gank over. So if you're going first, you are guaranteed 2 points on your second turn when your unit's ready. I just think it's incredibly good. But Jet, what do you got? Anything to add here?
I agree with I actually agree with the Gale Winds take on the signature spell. I think it's like B tier, and you play 1 or 2 of it and sideboard the rest. However, I think this is the best legend in Unleashed. Probably gonna be S tier even with the entire pool of legends. I think I do not completely understand the illusion token thing though. Could you explain that one more time? It's she discards 1 to create, because people keep telling me it's gustable. So like I thought it copies the might of the unit. Like it's just a straight copy of the unit.
Yeah, it is a token, and the token becomes a copy of a unit. So I'm gonna pull up Reflection. What are they saying is gustable? Oh, interesting. I guess the Reflection is a token unit with 0 might. So maybe you can react to the token being created, and before it becomes a copy, it can be gusted. That's actually
there's a window there.
Very interesting tech. That might cook, right? You're going to LeBlanc, you discard a card, and then you discarded a card for nothing because they gusted. That's like high key kind of scary. Okay, that's good tech, Jet. I had no idea. So that would piss me off if that happened in game. But yeah.
So okay, so there's a reactable window then, and then after that window happens though, it's just a straight up copy of like say a Ferris for obviously not Ferris, but like.
Well, I mean, if you use the LeBlanc signature spell, you could copy a Ferris. So it's the copy of whatever card it is. It's just if you're playing LeBlanc and you're copying your own unit, it's going to be a copy of a blue or yellow card. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a straight up copy. Like it has the might, it has all the text.
Yeah, but it has the might, it has the text, it has the death knell. It's kind of like Spellsonger, if you think of it that way. Like it copies the text from the card, but like Spellsonger doesn't like replay the play effect.
Yeah. Right. So you essentially have 1 window to deal with it. You have to be in a certain color combination to deal with said thing, and if you're not, I think you're just cooked. So yeah, that's very strong. S tier.
Dude, S tier. So we got 2 S tiers, 2 A tiers, a few B tiers, which I think are up for grabs. Poor Ivern and Master Yi making it to C. And then Jhin, I think Jin's going to be a sleeper, and I think we're going to get kind of bodied. I don't know why, but I have this feeling that Jin's going to be really good and somehow find his way up to B tier. So.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I played against this deck on, shout out to Sayer. He's a really good deck builder. He put together, again, like a miracle Jhin list it actually felt strong. So I think Jhin will be higher than D tier. I think it's just going to take a lot of innovation, and it's still going to get bodied in certain matchups, and it just has a lower ceiling. But yeah, it's probably higher than D tier, objectively. I just, in its current state, don't think it's good.
Yeah. Well, that's our outrageous takes. I think some of them are horrible. But again, Jetty Boy was with us today. Thank you, Jet, for stopping by. Check him out on Twitch. And we are going to be doing at some point, Jet, we're going to be doing a Rifty.com pre-Rift testing, building some decks, smacking them against each other. So super, super excited for that because Unleashed is upon us. May 1st, pre-Rift event starts, and I cannot wait. So that being said, thank you everyone for stopping by. And thank you, Jet, for being here. We appreciate you.